I would like to inform our viewers that we have with us Mr. Emmanuel Coelho Alves, a Senior Director at Huawei and a veteran in the telecom space. We are going to today discuss about 5G and the great impact that it is likely to create. It is claimed to be likely to create in the days ahead. Everybody is talking about 5G, especially the industry. And we have seen the long journey from 2G to 3G to 4G to 5G. And we are now also hearing a little bit about 6G that is perhaps in the labs right now. So welcome once again, Emmanuel. And what we discussed today will be going out to the telecom ecosystem in the country, which is basically the service providers, the equipment companies, the value-added service companies, the organizational customers, the policymakers, and so on and so forth, consultants. Let me start by asking you, Emmanuel, that do you think that this entire phenomenon, this global phenomenon of work from home, whatever be the reasons, whatever be the catalyst for that, but this entire phenomenon of work from home, has it come as a boon for the 5G telecom technology and the 5G possibilities?
First, good morning, Ibrahim, and thank you to invite me for today this talk together. So as we can see, and I believe today is more or less every country in the world facing the same situation. We have this since 18 months, we have the pandemic, and we do see that connectivity is the must, is the one that today keep us working, keep us as well on every more or less aspect of our society. It is obvious that 5G, if you look at what is the base of 5G, one of the bases is broadband connectivity. And we do believe that it can fully match what we need today in our society. It's obvious that, like you have mentioned, that work from home has been something that for most of us, if not all of us, has been something we have done in the past 1 year and a half. I would believe it will be even maybe going forward, getting more. I would expect that not necessarily because of the pandemic. I believe because of the change of our way we are dealing with work. We as well are dealing with education, with many aspects on our daily life. It will be more that we will have to maybe get access, get connectivity. So this is, I believe, from all countries in the world, part of their today roadmap, agenda, planning. It is not that new because I would believe and India is as well part of this big change. What we call digital transformation is something that is happened already in the past few years. Of course, it has been even getting more speed up in the past months. And I would believe every country is getting ready, putting this into practice, making as well the right policy. And this is as well what we need in our industry. We have technical solution, we have different capabilities. Operators are there at the time being to deliver those capabilities. And at the time being, I believe that most of government have taken action to get the right policy to speed up this, to make it reality, and to make use of this for people for whatever they are doing, like I said, for working from home, but not necessarily. I would believe in India, I don't have the numbers, but I would believe e-commerce is raising. And if you do e-commerce, you need connectivity as well.
So I think you finished the answer at a very good point of e-commerce, and e-commerce is something which is really taken off in India. So obviously e-commerce would be one of the things that 5G is likely to transform. But what all do you think will 5G do for making this a better world, a more connected world, a better world? So what all do you think 5G is likely to impact and do?
Sometimes we do refer to 5G not just for the connectivity itself. We like today to have on one side the connectivity, but on the other side is all what we sometimes name cloud. You could assume this is more looking at already application, content, that could be for both. That could be for the residential market. That could be as well for the more enterprise market. On the residential, it can be aspect like e-training, e-learning. That could be for students, for kids, even for people that do like to get as well some new skill. That all of this could be already maybe, or part of it could be, let's say, a reality today online. On the other side, and you see what we are doing, you and me today, maybe if this would have been a few years back, we would sit in the same place together and we have this talk. And today you see that we are using video conferencing and that we can deal with all what we want to share, what we want to discuss, even if we are not sitting next to each other. And if you look at 5G, this is where 5G is mainly on the connectivity, but connectivity itself is not the only part what you need to get ready, and you need to get all aspects around content, around cloud. I would believe as well in India, cloud services are growing quite fast today, and this is something we do see as well in most of the world, and this is very much fit. Without connectivity, you don't have cloud, and vice versa is correct. You need, in fact, both. You need to get both ready, and then you can get the full ecosystem, and you can get ready for more or less every aspect of our daily life.
The fact is that 5G is now a reality. It is happening. There are lots of countries which have taken off on 5G and they have started commercial services. So before we get into more details, can you share with us an update on 5G deployments across the world? What are some of the things that you are seeing as far as 5G deployments across the world is concerned?
So if you look at today, if I don't make mistake, there are around 170 plus commercial 5G networks around the world. They are targeting different type of application. Some of them are, you can say most of them are let's say, addressing video. Video is growing in most of countries. We do see as well some new services coming, new services that you could see that some of them have been already touched in the 4G time. Like, for example, gaming. We do see today from Germany, from different countries, including, of course, Asia countries, Middle East countries. We do see those kind of service growing. So there are, in fact, both sides. There are some capabilities that, or use cases that are maybe more for the residential market, like I mentioned, gaming type of services. And we do see as well some which are related to the enterprise market. So we do see as well today 5G coming to the enterprise, not just selling smartphone, but as well looking as well on new type of services that could, like we discussed just before, can be as well fully related to cloud services. Most of the time you could see that from today what we see as a commercial services, you will bridge both. You will have connectivity, you will have as well content, cloud type of services. And today on the commercial network, both are already in place. We do have, of course, specific service, what sometimes in our little technology world, we are calling CP routers, broadband access. So this as well something we do see in quite a number of countries today happening. You maybe see as well around the world on different, let's say, capabilities that has been disclosed, like showing what today broadband can be on 5G. It's obvious that it is one good option today. I would not say that it will replace everything that we have, or that it will be the only choice. I would believe it will be one of multiple choice we will have that could fit as well some part of the need that we have today in our society. And typically broadband is one of the key item on the agenda on more or less every country in the world. So 5G is growing. It has been put commercial somewhere around 2.5 years ago, and it is growing. I would expect by the next few weeks or few months, we will get more than 500 million 5G users in the world. So you could assume that it's already getting a scale that could as well benefit on multiple aspects, including device, ecosystem, and so on. So it is, you can say right now, we are in the full speed of the growth of 5G on commercial side. And of course, we are still in a young technology. More will come, and this is as well what I believe India will do in the next months, assuming next year around that timeline, that will as well, let's say, come to this new 5G topic.
Okay, so what are some? Yeah, so it's certainly a good first period for the 5G technology, and we are seeing a lot of adoption happening there. So what are some of the good, interesting use cases that you see happening in the market that is getting noticed and people are talking about it, and that is really also delivering value?
I would put on the top of the list, I would put all aspects around video. It is not that new in the way that already 4G has done quite good job on this. We can see 5G to extend, in fact, what has been already, or what is currently done already on 4G on the video. So here, video, it is covering multiple use cases. It can be video for streaming, it can be video for AR, VR type of solution that we do see in some market. Video can be as well for some other aspect around TV, around IPTV type of solution. There is as well some work, is not yet put commercial, but there are some work around broadcasting using a 5G technology. So there are some today new type of, let's say, capabilities that we are trying to leverage as well around this video topic on 5G, like broadcasting. There are as well, like I quickly mentioned early, services around gaming. So mobile gaming, after it depends as well on countries, on what behavior of end users, but definitely there are countries that today pay attention to gaming, and cooperation between operators and third-party content providers on this specific area is happening right now. After, there are some more specific services that maybe are linked to enterprise segment. So here I could refer, for example, to some capabilities around, for example, latency, do have, for example, sensors and different aspects around the, let's say, the different enterprise campus that could take as well advantage on 5G, take advantage on multiple aspects. It can be maintenance, what we call sometimes proactive maintenance, to detect early when could be possible, let's say, need to replace some pieces of machine. It can be as well all aspects around cameras. So cameras, it can be on the production line to detect when there are default on any product, and do have this, instead of people checking, or instead of getting on every single machine sometimes expensive capabilities, do have, for example, cameras at the place where it is produced, do in real time load those video recording to some cloud system that will do processing, real-time processing, on checking if there are any default or whatever that need to be carefully checked, and then to make a decision if this product is fit or not. So there are multiple aspects right now. The use cases sometimes on 5G are compared as a long tail. It's not so much something that we can at one time decide, okay, this is the use cases on 5G. It is growing. There are already quite a lot in the market, but there are as well more to come. And like I said earlier, we are still a young technology. It is a growing market. And I'm sure there will be some use cases we may not look at today, or we may not think today, and that will be happening in the next years.
So one of the things that we were discussing a lot, maybe 1.5, 2 years back, was in terms of infrastructure related challenges, etc., and also about devices and all. So is that now a settled issue, or are there still infrastructure challenges that you are seeing operators facing at the time of deployments and all? Or is that something now done with?
We do have always sometimes some, I would call, bump on the road. So there are still some that we do have to overpass. Typically, for sure, in every city, it's not easy job to get site. It is needed from every aspect, from regulation, from different, let's say, capabilities that we need as well at the network level to get maybe more compact equipment, more, let's say, green equipment that could as well benefit, in fact, this technology. And it's obvious that if you look at the way to look at 5G as a network level, you need to get access to site. You need to get all regulation that can let you or let operators to install equipment. We do need spectrum. So this is as well one of the base that we need to guarantee. Is not as well a simple job. It has as well different sometimes constraints. We do believe, and I see time to time some, let's say, early roadmap and capabilities that India is developing, for example, to get access to spectrum. I would believe today is quite positive trends, and it is just need to go on. So these are maybe those. I'm more from the radio, so maybe I would look at more the aspects on the radio side. So typically, site spectrum are the one that need to be set to guarantee that it is realistic, that it is from cost point of view, it is possible to get a commercial network in place with realistic return of investment and realistic as well way to deploy the network.
Yeah, thank you. I think you have been very upfront, and certainly there is work required in this area. And I'm sure as the industry matures and as all the stakeholders realize, we will see a lot more happening there. Just, I wanted to also talk to you about network capabilities. So what are some of those network capabilities which will help in delivering really true 5G? So what are some of those network capabilities that will help in delivering true, real 5G, true 5G?
So on the top of what I was just talking a few seconds back, on the top of the spectrum, which is one of the baseline if you want to deliver and to implement 5G, there are new technology that we today see quite obvious on 5G on commercial network. One of them is massive MIMO. So this is capabilities. In fact, this capability came a few years back already on 4G. I believe India has done already work on this field in 4G. And we see today it is really mainstream on 5G. The big advantage on massive MIMO is getting capacity. It do have as well advantage on coverage. And so you can say it's a mix of both capacity and coverage. And if you look at, let's say, related to spectrum, if you do have, let's say, large channel bandwidth, on top of this, if you do use massive MIMO, sometimes I compare this as a giant configuration. You do have really a powerful radio pipeline that give you, in fact, multiple possibility to deliver services. On top of this, I would look at as well all aspects regarding backhaul. You need to get a mobile backhaul. You need to connect those base stations that you install to the core network. So this is as well something that need to be in place. Here, I would believe, and what I see today around the world, microwave can still do the job, but you need as well spectrum to deliver this capability on the microwave. Or of course, you need as well another option could be the fiber technology. So this as well are the, you can say, base to deliver a good 5G network. Getting spectrum, on the spectrum, making use of massive MIMO and get capabilities on your backhaul that typically, for example, microwave can be as well a quite realistic option, or of course, a fiber. After that, we do have as well some add-on on top of this to improve coverage. So we different capabilities that try to, in fact, take advantage on multiple spectrum, not necessarily only on C-band. C-band is the one we do recommend today, and I believe India is working on this. We do as well possibility across multiple spectrum to get better coverage on 5G, especially on the TDD band. And yes, we do have as well to care about energy. I would believe India and like most of the countries, operators like government as well, like to be green, like to reduce carbon dioxide emission. So here we do have as well some duty, in fact, to deliver good performance without getting as well on the energy eating too much let's say the use of energy. So here we need to get as well competitive solution that could as well control the way you are using energy on those 5G systems.
Yeah, thank you. I think you brought up a very important point, and that is one area where India really needs to do a lot. That is energy efficiency and and green systems. You talked about green systems a little earlier. So there is a section in among consumers in India which is very wary of so many networks coming up and the kind of pollution they cause and the kind of radio waves they generate and radiation and so on and so forth. So what is your understanding of 5G technology? Is it a safe technology? Is it something, or what all is required to, and from the green aspect also, what all is required, and what is Huawei doing in some of those areas?
We split your question in two pieces,
Yes.
if you allow me. First of all, regarding safety of 5G, definitely 5G is safety. Every single country I know do have policy to control emission, and it's not new just at the time of 5G. It is something coming as well that has been applied in the past on even 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G, and right now as well on 5G. So every single country do have regulation that have being agreed across multiple players, telecom players, but not only telecom players. And this, let's say, is the mandatory commitment that all industry, wireless industry, has to fulfill. So this is not a choice, it is a mandatory aspect that need to be put into place. And we definitely believe that as of today, with all research, with all, let's say, activities that has been done in the past, to guarantee the right threshold on those radiation, we have today a safety solution in place that could as well benefit the society, but do not damage any, bring any to safety environment. Yeah. So this is the first part. The second part of the question that was more on the green side. So this is something that we do see more and more coming, and not just for the telecom industry, for the wireless industry. It is something that we see more or less across every industry today, to deliver service, to provide services, or to make product with lowest possible use of energy. So we on the 5G do have as well this duty to deliver as well solutions that do use as little as possible energy. If I don't make mistake, I see, and you was talking quickly today in the kickoff of this interview about 6G. So I see already today on some early, let's say, requirement on 6G that energy saving, being green, is one of those that they have as well shortlist. So definitely something we need to care. We need to care on for multiple reasons. One is that we are getting, of course, more spectrum, that we do need as well on those spectrum to as well get equipment that, assuming we cover all spectrum, so do have as well need to get enough energy. There are multiple solutions today on both sides on the hardware. So there are some capabilities that are related to the hardware. There are as well some capabilities which are more coming from software. And when I say coming from software, you could assume here is more intelligence that we want to bring to 5G. To bring to 5G, to get as well possibility to detect when you need or not to get the cell getting up, getting ready, because you have people or you have object to connect the cell, and do have as well possibility that if you have low traffic or even sometimes no traffic at different time during the day, including night, but as well during the day, do have as well possibility to adapt to this low traffic time, and do of course adapt the configuration itself to those low traffic time, and do in fact downgrade configuration if there is no need for this configuration at let's say on the 24 hours basis. So all of this is something that is ongoing. There are already some that has been put into commercial network. I would believe more need to be done, and I see today that on multiple let's say whatever conference and so on, that every quite obvious call from the industry to as well down this energy consumption. So I expect, or I see today that there are some work, R&D work to do, in fact, better on both on the hardware and as well do have as well more smart, intelligent capabilities on the software to deliver this 5G without eating, let's say, energy. This is for sure one of the mandatory points of today's 5G agenda.
Okay, so very clearly 5G is something really revolutionary and transformational, and it's got so many capabilities. And with things like fragmentation for serving the needs of post-COVID customers, and the kind of new revenue streams that 5G will open up. So do you think that perhaps with 5G, it is also time for the operators to start looking at the average revenue per user, the ARPU models in a new way, in a different way?
Yes, and it will be even more maybe need in 5G compared to what we have done in the past. It was already a question that came in the time of 4G. How is about ARPU? How operators can leverage better ARPU on their legacy new technology? Are split in two pieces. You could see for more maybe, let's say, like residential market or consumer market, for sure there will be still aspect on the today's service that are offered by operators regarding data alliance, regarding speed that you can offer. So this can be as well connectivity that you can combine with content that could be as well partnership for, let's say, different type of content, could be video, could be gaming and so on. It could be that you will have within, let's say, a different set of package, multiple option. You can as well combine different connectivity with different, let's say, content that you can connect or bundle together. We could have as well possibility, and this is already something which is happening in some market, you have not necessarily one subscription, one SIM card. You could have as well possibility to combine multiple SIM into one package. That could be for family, that could be for SMEs as well possibility. So there are already different tactics today on the more residential or more, let's say, classical way to deliver, let's say, mobile connectivity to sell 5G. On top of this, there is what is new maybe in 5G today, which is more on the enterprise segment. What we call sometimes in our industry the 2B market, which is verticals. I would be surprised if we can, and if it is realistic to stick to the same principle as we have done in the past. I don't believe we will sell still SIM card on the, let's say, basis of what we can deliver to enterprise. I would believe here there will be totally new type of business let's say, agreement between operators and verticals that will not necessarily be linked to what we have in the past or what we are still doing today on connectivity, data alliance, and so on. So, in fact, 5G will increase the possibility, in fact, on the way you sell 5G to the end users. There are already some market moving into the 2B. It's still a bit early, but they already start in different, let's say, countries from Southeast Asia, from Europe, from Middle East, US as well. So it is obviously something that we see today coming. And we do see that operators as well are changing the way they are, let's say, making the deal with verticals, and not anymore as what we see in the past or what we can see today on only dealing with SIM card. Use cases will be very important. Depending on what is the service you will really target, then you can price related to this specific service that you will offer.
That you mentioned 5G for enterprises and for commercial, for enterprise applications. So do you see private 5G LTE networks also coming up? Are they being considered? We were discussing it yesterday. So is that something which is gaining traction internationally?
So to comment on this, you are right. When you mentioned 4G, we cannot ignore 4G. We are talking maybe in the past 20, 25 minutes about 5G, but 4G is there. It will be not removed in any time soon. I believe both technology, 4G, 5G, and even as well maybe some early technology will coexist. It's obvious, and I always, when I meet customers or when I discuss with different partners, colleagues, I always deal in the way that just first, let's try to know what is the use cases, what is the need, and then we can start to decide what makes sense for this. Is it more 5G network that will still be the best choice? Are we as well capable to do this on 4G? What makes the best option for, let's say, the one that want to use the service? So both 4G, 5G will be there. And at the end of the day, is maybe for some long time that we will see both to coexist. That will be, in fact, the best, I believe, the best option for all, for those who are using the service, for those who are as well delivering the service. From private network, which is the second aspect in your question, a private network is one of the possible options that we could see today for verticals. I would believe, and I recall some of the, let's say, strategy that I do see today from operators. They are calling this hybrid public plus private network. And I would believe at the end, we need both. And we need both because there are so many use cases. It will be more or less impossible to have everything on public or as well everything on private. It will be a mix of both that will be at the end of the day. And if you maybe look at company like maybe more like power grid company, or if you look at company like logistic company, maybe for those type of companies, you need, of course, to get quite large coverage, and maybe in some way, public network can be a very valid choice to, in fact, get good, let's say, coverage, but not only this, get a good TCO on this type of connectivity. And you will have maybe some more campus level, let's say, services that will be maybe more focused on one type of industry that could as well request a private network. From operators, I believe is no issue. Can be possible, both of them. And this, I believe, the power of the operators. They are able to do both and to integrate this into one package or one solution that could be seamless between public and private network. So definitely, I would expect both will happen. And we do see already in several countries, this is coming.
Yeah, thanks. I think that's what experts other experts also believe. So I have got one or two more questions before I will let you go. You see, India has been on the telecom journey ever since the liberalization started, but we still have a long road ahead of us. And in 2018, the National Digital Communication Policy was announced, and that was a very ambitious policy, and there were a lot of things that needed to be done. So do you think the 5G, especially the fixed wireless access, do you think 5G will really help a country like India, which is so diverse, which is doing so much, yet so much more has to be done? Do you think 5G will help the country achieve its digital communication policy goals?
Definitely yes, and I'm not expert. I know some of my colleagues at time to time discuss about this NDCP, let's say, framework roadmap for India. So I would expect it's the right way to go, to make a framework to discuss and to agree on where you want to go, what is the target, what is the roadmap. And after that, on the table, you have multiple choice. You have multiple choice. Some of them are coming from the wireless, including 4G, including 5G. Some of them are coming from the fixed. That could be on different aspects, on broadband, fixed broadband, that could be as well delivered. And at the end, it is more a question, as India is quite large country. You will not have one technology that can deliver everything on broadband across every cycle of India. It will be more on the case-by-case basis. You will see that depending on as well the, let's say, legacy system which are in place, you will see maybe more sometimes development on the wireless, maybe sometime it will be as well on the fixed. Both will coexist, and I would believe India will be the same as I've seen in other countries. At the time, right now, I believe already there are quite significant progress, and India has done already quite good in the past, you can say already 5 to 6 years on getting broadband. We see this more or less on every daily statistic that we see published from different organizations. So it is something which is ongoing. Of course, it cannot be stopped just right now. It has to be as well getting even more in the next few years. And as 5G is still new, it is just coming. It is in the next few months what we could expect next year in India. So yes, 5G can be a relevant option that could fit this NDP policy. So definitely, it is a good option. I would make one more comment on this. India has one more big advantage. If you look at on our telecom industry, we need scale, and India has a huge scale. And if you look at, for example, from device point of view, normally device, you need a competitive price. And I believe India can fit very much because of the scale to cut down the price on the device and do make as well this more easy to be used by people. So yes, definitely it is a big, I believe, very promising topic on this NDCP framework.
Good. We will have that discussion. Another one last question that I have is that what is it that India can learn from some of the successful examples across the world? What can India? What are the lessons in it for India in terms of operator, technology provider collaboration, in terms of ecosystem? What are some of those things that we can learn and try and adopt so that we can also speed up 5G deployment and commercialization and usage in India? My last question.
I believe one aspect that you have mentioned in your question is the ecosystem. If we want to be successful in this, let's say, decade, and to get something that really fit for people, you need to address multiple aspects. You need to address the network. You need to address the connectivity. Like, for example, what we were just talking about in the previous question about the NDCP, a topic which is more dealing with connectivity. On top of this, we need content. We need content, we need application. If we do expect that our kids at one point of time, even already today happening, that we more and more do e-training, do e-learning, do have maybe, yes, let's say some session will be at school, sitting with colleagues, with teachers, but there will be maybe more and more that will happen, not necessarily at school, that will happen at home, at dormitory, where they will as well connect with other, let's say kids or students, that will as well connect, interact with let's say professor, that will as well get online content. This as well the power today of what is ongoing on this maybe more like digital transformation, is that we can get access more or less to everything on the 24 hours. And this is something that we could cross across more or less all type of industry. You could as well get information about what is the pandemic, what is the new policy, what is, if you have to travel from city A to city B, you don't need even to ask someone or to call someone, you get this all online. You can get as well, we're talking early, all delivery of all product you want to buy from home. You can get this at your home, just if you click on your smartphone or on internet, you can get this quite easily delivered to you without crossing the city, without getting to even sometimes to another city to get the goods that you want to purchase. So it's obvious that at the time being, we need a good ecosystem. We need a good ecosystem from the network, from the content, from the delivery, if we are dealing with e-commerce. obviously, and India did a very powerful as well move in the past maybe 5 years. If you look at smartphone today, you can get whatever you like on a smartphone, and this as well the big power that you could see today from what we see today on our society, to leverage as well content that we are using on a smartphone, getting more and more content to do more or less whatever you want. And India has done quite a lot, and you are, I think, on the right track for this. No do for this.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel. It was really a pleasure talking to you, and I hope Huawei's association with the 5G growth and future and story in the country will continue, and hope we will see 5G and the new coming technologies really transforming the lives of every citizen in the world as well as in India. Thank you once again. Thanks a lot.